Hey, so let's talk about nothing. Alright, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so I've wanted to make this the intro of a video ever since Nothing launched. However, I couldn't make a video on Nothing because Nothing was around in the UAE, or Nothing wasn't even around in the UAE, if you get what I mean. Nothing products aren't available in the UAE, and there's only one product so far, which is the Ear 1. Now, some people love it, some people hate it. I don't have it, so I cannot give you guys my opinions on how this product is, how it performs. But 1 year since the launch of the Ear 1s, Nothing is back, this time with their phone and also their overall perspective of what they want to achieve in the long run with Nothing. And the major standout points are a smooth, connected ecosystem that's also open to everyone. So Nothing wants to incorporate not just Nothing products in the ecosystem, but also allow other competing manufacturers to blend in with their ecosystem and interact with that ecosystem just as fluidly as you would within that ecosystem, if that makes sense. So for example, universal control on Apple works really well with the iPad, the Mac. They want to do something similar over time with Nothing products. Although it's very interesting that they're wanting other manufacturers to get involved. And I'll get to that in just a minute. But let's talk about what they announced. Now, to be honest, all of this could have been summed up in a press release or an email. I don't know why they decided to have an event for that. They didn't really unveil the phone. They did unveil what the phone would look like, perhaps from the back. And if you see it, you can sort of see the camera cutout on the left side. You can also see a big cutout in the center, some maybe LED notification lights on the back, with the transparent look that Nothing wants to go for and that we saw with the Ear 1s. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a funky design on the phone 1. Nothing apart from that was unveiled in terms of design, although they did talk a lot about it. Carl Pei's vision is to have a very unique and standout design, and they want to make smartphones not as boring. These days, smartphones are very repetitive, they're the same thing, and Nothing wants to be the first step to change that. So that's basically their whole end goal and ambition. Now, the other thing they announced was Nothing OS, and this is a build-up of Android. So it's a build on top of Android that basically strips it of any bloatware whatsoever. So if you know Nothing's design language, it's a lot to do with this dot matrix style, lots of black and white, and that's exactly what Nothing is going for with their operating system. They want it to be very fluid, don't have things that are bouncing around. So for example, when you're unlocking the phone, and that's something that Carl Pei actually pointed out, when you unlock the phone, the elements on screen don't really bounce around. They stay very, very subtle, very, very uniform, and I think that sort of continuity and that sort of fluidity is what Nothing wants to strive for. In terms of the processing power, they did say they're working with Qualcomm, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be launching with a flagship processor. The OS is also going to have 4 years of security updates and 3 years of OS updates on top of Android. Bloatware completely stripped out, and they've worked very hard on, very minute details of the UI. So things like how sounds work and how certain applications that are built on top of Android, whatever they decide to go with, how they are different from the stock experience, and that difference makes, a bit of a uniqueness. It brings in a uniqueness to the overall phone. So they talked about the recorder app, where when you start to record, you can actually use the icon to rewind what you're recording and also go forward. So that's just one of the unique takes they decided to showcase to us. But yeah, that's pretty much Nothing OS and everything they talked about in the event. There isn't much substance to it. Nothing OS is coming out as a standalone launcher application sometime in April. So I am going to be making a video on the experience if I do get my hands on it. It is out for specific phones. I don't know which ones, but if I do happen to have a phone that supports Nothing launcher, I'll be sure to make a video on that. But I also want to go back to what Nothing said with it being able to interact with other devices. So Carl actually showed us, some sort of UI element where when you scroll through the notification shade and pull it down, you can see that the Ear 1 is connected to the smartphone. But Carl said that over time, this could be used for other things like your Teslas, your Apple devices, and a lot of references to other companies were thrown out in this event, which means that Nothing isn't really trying to close off all of these companies. In fact, it's trying to incorporate all of these into one big sort of funnel. And this reminds me of what Huawei is trying to do and what Samsung is trying to do, in fact. So Huawei has a very, very powerful multi-device collaboration feature where you can connect your Huawei devices to Windows devices. And the way it's possible is that you can drag and drop wirelessly between these two different operating systems completely, but still be able to do all your work just like how you would on an Apple device with multi-screen collaboration, or whatever Apple likes to call it, continuity. I think with Nothing, they're trying to do something similar and bring it to the mainstream. These days, Huawei isn't the best known sort of brand, household brand that people associate with because of the obvious things that are surrounding Huawei. But if a company like Nothing comes up with the backing of all of these investors, it is a lot of investment from people who are just fans of the company, and also the fact that Carl Pei has been very, very pivotal in bringing OnePlus to where it is currently virtually. I think it brings a lot of credibility to Nothing on what it's trying to do. So it's not really trying to, attack a certain Android product, attack OnePlus. It's more attacking a walled off ecosystem. And I think its number one target has to be Apple, because Apple is currently the most walled off ecosystem you can have. And if Nothing is successful in doing so, if it's successful in incorporating other devices into its ecosystem and make for a seamless experience all across the board, it could be onto something. But we'll only find out sometime in the summer of 2022 when the smartphone launches. That's all we know about Nothing OS and the smartphone and what it's trying to strive for in the future. Let me know what you guys think about Nothing down in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video useful and enjoyable. Thanks for watching. This was Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.